Good morning, everybody. Happy hump day. Happy Wednesday. And you guessed it, happy trash day. Trash guy's already come early this morning, so you will not get to hear Jack bark, at least at the trash guy. He might bark at something else, but anyway, let's see who we got hanging out with us this morning. Got Mr. Darren Birds. He clocked in at like 7:42, so he's the early bird, I guess. Lonnie's here. Good morning, Lonnie. Don's here. Good morning. Appreciate the thumbs up. Larry Galt says, "Morning, everyone. My brain hurts from watching Lightburn videos. It's a very powerful software. Well worth the money." I know exactly how you feel, Larry, because I watched a bunch of them. And especially when you watch the one, I don't know, if you're watching just some YouTuber or if you're watching the ones that Jason, the guy who, is Lightburn, when he does them, man, you got to really be paying attention because and it's like when you're the designer of something or the creator, it so well, it's hard to slow down. But when he's doing it, I'm like, whoa, 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 slow down. I have to stop the video, back up, see what he did. But yeah, I know what you mean. It'll make your brain hurt. Paul's here. Good morning, Paul. Glad to see you here at the coffee sessions. Marcelo's here. He says, "Good morning, all." Thumbs up. Appreciate thumbs up. We got a few of them over there, not many. Let's see. Landis says, "Good morning. Ordered a new driver box from Xylotex. I do not need one, but I thought I would check it out, see if it is as good as the one I got 6 years ago from Jeff." Well, after you've had a chance to look it over and, kick the tires and all that stuff, give us a full report on it, Landis, because I'm curious. Because if I remember right, when I was looking on their website the other day, they were like dirt cheap. I mean, what was it, $100 or something like that? And of course, back when he offered the 4-axis kits, you'd get the 4-stepper motors and that drive box. I think that was like $399 or something, so about $400. And of course, we all know that stepper motors aren't really that much. That's maybe $100 worth of it. So if he's selling that drive box for $100, I'm really be interested to see what exactly is in it that he can sell it so cheap. Let's see. Gary Hammett's here. Good morning, Gary. Lonnie says, "Great video this morning, but I would not want that printer. I like to modify my stuff." Yeah, some guys like to tinker. I'm not a tinkerer when it comes to 3D printers. Obviously, I didn't even like having to mess with that one to get it back working. But there are a lot of nice little features that, that's what I've said as far as the bed leveling. If I bought a printer that already had it and it was already working, then that would be great. But as far as trying to put, especially something on these little small build plates, I don't really think it's worth it. But let's see. Kenneth is here. Good morning, Kenneth. Troy is here. Good morning, Troy. Appreciate the thumbs up. I guilted a few of you into hitting it, didn't I? Let's see. Thomas Grimm says, "I have been procrastinating and watching the same Lightburn stuff, but we'll be back in Austin, and it's assembly makerspace in just over a month, so I should shape up." Okay. Bruce is here. Good morning, Bruce. Always good to see you in the coffee sessions. Lou's here. Good morning, Lou. Mr. Clyde's here. How you doing, Clyde? Leo says, "Happy hump day. It's going to be hot and humid today, then cold tomorrow." We are going to be, let's see. Joanne, she said that fall officially starts at 9 p.m. tomorrow. And she said by just a coincidence, that's about the time the little front's going to move through, and we will shift from. We got up to like, well, I don't know exactly how hot it got. I know at one time on my phone I saw 93, so it was hot yesterday. Supposed to be like that again today. And then, of course, tomorrow, or like I said, around 9 p.m., when fall officially starts, the the little chill should kick in. So, looking forward to that. Looking forward. Let's see. Leo's here. Happy hump. Oh, no, I just did that one, didn't I? All right. Let's see. Darren says, "You're awesome, Dave." I don't know about that. That's probably up for debate. Ray's in the house. Good morning, Ray. Sean is here. Good morning, Sean. Hope you're finally over the crud. Let us know how you're doing. Jesse's here. Good morning, Jesse. Lonnie says, "My feeling is if it's working, make it better. It gets me in trouble sometimes." Yeah, it will. See, mine's just the opposite. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, my favorite solar man right here, Mr. Ballard. How you doing? Client says, "I wonder what's inside the linear guides." Are you talking about the 3D printer back here? I don't know if that's what you're talking about or not, but if you are, I think if the way you can't see, but you can see the two little, there's gaps, it's an assembled, it's almost like some of that 80/20 aluminum extrusion stuff, only it's powder coated and stuff. And but if you look close on those rails, you can see the little NEMA 17 stepper motor. So I'm assuming that they've put the stepper motor, a coupler, a lead screw, and whatever they're going to attach it to on the other end, and they just slide that in that thing and then put some end caps on it. And then it's also those two slots are what makes that other plate where it attaches. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what in there. I don't even know if that's what you're talking. You may have been talking about something else here. Larry says they're going to be pushing 100 today. That's pretty warm. Pretty warm. Solar Man got him another big score. 2 sections of heavy duty shelving from AutoZone. Oh man. Talk about that is awesome. That is awesome because heavy duty shelving, now you'll be able to collect a lot of junk. You'll have a place to store. Clyde says yes. Okay, so I guess he was talking about the thing. Yeah, I didn't try to get an up close shot of that because, like I said, this is a brand new printer. It's not even out yet. I did put the link to their website in the description of that video, but when you click on it, you won't find that printer over there. So, and who knows, they may change stuff before they actually release it. A lot of times I've seen people that, get sent a 3D printer to review or something else. Doesn't necessarily have to be a 3D printer, but especially those. And then, they send them out to people to do unboxing videos and assemblies and stuff like that. And then maybe there's something that wasn't exactly right. So by the time they finally come out and release it, like, for example, the motherboard or something, it may be totally different. They may change it and it may not even have the same stuff in it that the guy that was doing the video had. So I don't know. They did, it's not like they were being secretive, but I just didn't ask a lot of questions. And they just didn't tell me a whole lot of stuff. you know, most of the stuff that I said in the video I actually got out of the little manual that came with it. Talking about of course, it's got the magnetic bed and the inside that box where the nozzle is. You get the direct drive Titan extruder, and then there's also a um, what do you call it, filament detector, sensor. So yeah, so I really, really, really didn't know a whole lot. And then when I did ask him, when I emailed him, I said, hey, am I missing some stuff? Because I didn't get a thumb drive or a SD card or anything like that. And they said, no, we didn't put one in it. But here's, they emailed me the Cura profile and then a firmware update that they had done. So, but there was no test file. So everything I ran uh, is just stuff that I already had files for and ran. And of course, the settings weren't for that, so I had to run it through the other thing. I did run another one of these yesterday, and if I set it next to the other one I got over there, you can't tell the difference. They are exactly the same. And these things just, I don't know if you can see it, but man, they just come out perfect on that thing. So really happy with that thing, even though it was a little frustrating at first, but I can see myself making a lot of stuff with that printer that I wouldn't probably try with the Ender because of the size. So George says he's got a hall pass. All right, you know how we are around here, George. You can just pop in here anytime you want to. Beginning, middle, end, doesn't make any difference. Doesn't make any difference. Man, I tell you what, I'm jealous of that heavy duty shelving, Ryan. That's because I know what kind of shelving they have in those places like AutoZone, all that. That's the good stuff right there. So, was it a store that was closing, or were they just remodeling or something and throwing some other stuff out? Or it's almost hard to believe that one of the car guys that work there didn't snatch that up. So, but anyway, congratulations on the big score. That'll be awesome. Ryan says, just saw the videos live. Can't wait to watch. Well, get a cup of coffee because it's or Coke or whatever it is you like to drink, because it's about 30 minutes. Uh, and I don't like doing those long-winded things, but sometimes it just takes that long. I sped up the so-called assembly part, and mostly I did that. I would have ran it slow. It would have been a really long video if the audio had worked with that, because I was talking along. You might have saw that I had my little stool pulled over there and had the microphone sitting there, but then I didn't have it where it was recording. So I got none of that audio, which, like I said, I would have had to go back and, edit out a few choice words anyway. But it really frustrates, as a former sheet metal guy, when I go to put something else together, it really ticks me off that somebody goes to the trouble to put these holes in parts, and they're supposed to be easy because it's a tapped hole and you just push and you're supposed to screw. All that's supposed to be easy peasy. And then they don't chase the threads, or there's metal shavings and stuff where they've tapped it, but they didn't blow it out or whatever. And that's always frustrating to me when I try to put something together. I'm like, come on, people, take 2 seconds with a little of air and blow the shavings out of it before you send it off to the powder coaters. Because once you powder coat it, then it's all kind of stuck in there. Let's see. Ryan says it's the shelves that the oil was on, so I'm going to take some modifications, but it'll work well. Yeah. Okay, so it's the ones that were uh, right out in the shopping area, I guess, where they put the oil. Not like, see, when you first said heavy duty shelves, I'm thinking the ones that are behind the counter that they put like car batteries and stuff on. The really heavy stuff. But anyway, the price was right for sure. Oh, okay. So he's got an in. That's a good deal. That's a good deal there. Yeah, I wish I knew somebody at some kind of place like that. But I've had pretty good luck with the. I'll probably not be able to remember the name. It's. Yeah, I knew I wouldn't be able to. It's something works, and it's WORX, but it's like I can't remember. I want to say maybe it's Gator. I don't know, but it's some heavy duty metal shelf. I say heavy duty. It's not like not like the super heavy duty stuff. But I got it at Lowe's or Home Depot or something, and I bought two. I have two of them. One's in my storage building full of junk, and then the other one is in the corner of my garage, and it has um, all the garage works parts that I have left over sitting on those that I hope to get rid of one day. I'll build a controller and probably build one up and then sell it and then maybe build another one or something. Oh, Larry says I have a 400 by 400 honeycomb laser panel coming. Sweet. Well, I saw it looked like you did the little grid pattern on your plywood. That looked good. In fact, it looked a lot like the one I did. We may have used the same file. Okay, yeah. That's what I was thinking when you said oil. It's like when you pull a can out, they all slide down to fill the spot, which still wouldn't be that bad of a thing. Charles is here. He says, "Morning, Dave and Jack. Finally made it. Appreciate the thumbs up, Charles." Jack says, "Good morning." He's nice and quiet right here beside me. I don't even hear him snoring. I'm sure he's probably catching some Z's, but 5 foot deep. Wow, that's a lot. That is a lot. So have you got any plans for what you're gonna put on it, or you just wait and see what ends up on it? 5 foot deep, you may have to like stick it, stick the end against the wall so you can get around to both sides or something. That's pretty deep. Get it. It might be a good place to put a printer farm or something. Probably hold a lot of 3D printers with something 5 foot deep. Put them back to back and have one on this side, and then you walk around and do the one on the other side. Just saying. But I'm not sure what I'm going to do today. I think I'm going to call my buddy Jim. When I was over there, whenever it was the other week, helping him with his controller situation, we hooked back up. Like I said, he doesn't have homing switches or limit switches. I haven't been able to talk him into those yet. But I did give him one of those little small, cheap puck things that you use for the Z probe, to set your Z height. And he loves that thing. So, but he does not have the screen set that like I have, and I got it from Peter Pasuelo. I think he had a link to it. So I think I'm going to call Jim and go over there. And I told him I would get it for him because it makes it so much nicer. Because if you have the default Mach 3 screen set, it doesn't have that little green LED thing that's right there beside the Auto Tool 0. So when you want to test your probe, you have to go to like the diagnostic page and then look for where it says digitize or something. It'll blink when you touch it there. So if you want to check that before you zero your Z, and you should check it to make sure it's working, you have to go to that other page and then come back. So I told Jim, I said, yeah, I said, I'll get you that other screen set so that, because I love mine because you just stick the probe under there and touch it, and you can look over and it's right there on the main screen, and it makes it super easy. And I'm also going to take him that dovetail box thing I made and show him that. See what he thinks of that. So that might be what I do today. I don't know. Troy says you can park your little car on it in the winter. Yeah. Shelf will hold it. Charles says, finally got around to putting homing switches on the Gatton and wished I had done it long before. Sure is nice. Yeah. I ran my old Sidewinder machine. I ran that for years and years and years and never put, I never even had a touch plate. I would always use the paper method for setting the Z. And I never had any kind of limit switches or homing switches. But then when I finally got ready to put them on the Gatton, and basically the reason I put them on my Gatton CNC was because everybody else was sticking them on there, and there'd always be questions. Well, how do you do this? So I thought, well, I need to put them on there because I can't really answer folks unless I've done it, because I don't know for sure. But it's super easy, 2 wires to each switch. It's not hard at all. And then it's one of those things where I was the same way, Charles, is when you get it done, you're like, holy cow, that makes life so much easier to be able to home the machine. You really don't have to worry at all about the power going out in the middle of a long run or something like that, because you can always come back and find your spot if you have those. Now, you can still do it without them, but you have to plan ahead. You have to go, well, let's see, I'm going to rerunning this. It's going to take 3 hours. So I better put me a little spot or something, and then know that that's my origin, and then know how far over when I set it on my workpiece, how far it is X and Y and all. So if you write that down and all that, you can still go back to exactly where you were. But when you have homing switches, you really don't have to think about it much. It's going to do it. Okay, let's see. Larry says, I know what I'm going to do. Doctor appointment to read my PSA results, then going to stop by Dollar Tree and get some practice wood to pew. That's a great idea. That is a great idea. I see so many folks, and I go to I have a Dollar General that I go to, not very often, but once in a while I go there. And when I can think of it, when I'm in there, I always go look for these little bamboo cutting boards and all this stuff. I always see all these other people doing, and I can never find them. So I don't know if there's somebody around me that's got a laser or something, and they snatch all that stuff up or what. But I have never been able to find even that first little cutting board stuff. But yeah, a lot of people go to those kind of dollar stores and Dollar General and Dollar Tree and Family Dollar and all, there's a whole mess of them. And that's what they'll do is they'll they'll head straight for the little spot where they have the cutting boards and any of these other little wooden things that they can engrave and personalize. And that's a great way to get stuff. Clyde says, I wouldn't go without home switches. References the machine. Yeah. Well, it makes it easy because, like I said, you don't really have to think about it. You just reference it when you start it up, and then that's it. You don't have to. And of course, a lot of people, the problem is when they get ready to do a long, 15-hour 3D carve or something, they don't think about, well, how am I going to find where I'm at if it stops? If power goes out or, whatever. They don't think about it. So that's when they really get burned. You can, like I said, you don't have to have them. You can do it. It's just, you got to use your head and plan ahead. You have to think like, okay, now if I'm going to do a job that, takes 10 minutes, it's like, well, power goes out, big deal. I haven't lost much. But you get ready to do it, especially those 3D carves and stuff, and you probably got a nice piece of material on the table as well. And it can go south in a hurry if the power goes out and you don't have some kind of way to get back to where you were. But yeah, homing switches are really a good thing to have. Well, I guess my time's just about up here. Don't have really much else to talk about. I did watch a little news, but I'm not even going to talk about that stuff because it's so dang depressing. All the stuff on the news. At least they've let up on the Queen stuff. That's when that happened, that was like a 10-day thing or whatever. It's like, okay, we get it. Y'all were fond of the Queen. Let's move on. But of course, we'll be hearing more about all of it when they get ready to do the thing with what's his name, Charles. I couldn't even think of his name. Let's see. He says Dave used to have a drawer of uninstalled upgrades. I still have a drawer of uninstalled upgrades. Mr. Smarty Pants. Yeah. I still have a drawer. I got stuff sitting right here on this desk that's some things you could probably call an upgrade, but I have all kinds of stuff. I have a sickness. It's shiny objects and too much time and money, and I have to buy stuff and try it. But oh well, that's the way it is. So, all right, let me get out of here. That was my timer. Y'all have an awesome hump day. Get out there and do something cool today. Make something, whether it be chips or pew-pews. Get out and do one or the other. Anyway, we'll see y'all later, guys.